with all that, let's get started. So, lying down on the mat, coming on our backs. Let's just settle in here. You can bend your knees, bring your feet down to the floor. Arms will be long by your sides. And let's just take a moment here to settle in and find your neutral position. So what does that mean? Working from tail to head. Your tailbone is reaching towards the mat and also heavying down towards the floor. So there's almost this tilt forward and then a heaviness straight down. You'll create a little bit of space between your lower back and the mat when you do this. That's what you want. Only about 2 fingers worth between your lower back and the mat. We don't want to be completely imprinted to the point where the tail is lifting up, and we don't want to be overly arched to the point where most of the back is off of the mat. Just that little bit of space as the tailbone reaches long and down towards the mat. You'll feel your core fire on just from this lengthening motion. So start to feel your front body draw down towards your back body, and then feel the side start to corset inwards. Working our way up, shoulder blades are nice and down on the mat, gliding down your back and wide across your back. So we're long and wide. Start to feel the front of your ribs close together in opposition. So we're wide in the back, we're narrow in the front. And then all the way up, we have long collarbones, tension out of the front of the throat. And we have our neutral position, nice and engaged, elongated. And we've got our spine in its perfect Goldilocks position. So we're not overly arched, we're not overly tucked. We still have the natural curves of the spine. We've just taken the extremities out. All right, from here, let's do a little warm up. So from here, you're gonna take an inhale to prep. On your exhale, I want you to bring your arms up to the ceiling, maybe behind you, trying not to splay at the rib cage. And then slowly circle the arms around to the front again. Inhale, reach the arms back, maintaining that neutral position. The ribs stay down on the mat. 2 more times in this direction. We're just opening up the shoulders, connecting our breath to our movement. And reverse. Take the arms out, around and forward. Thinking about moving the arms from the back and not from the top of the shoulder. So those shoulder blades initiate the movement of the arms and feel a lot of length through the tips of your fingertips. All the while, that core is a concrete slab. It moves nowhere. All right, from here, stack your hands one on top of the other. Bring them behind the nape of your neck. Little warm up here. We're going to start to work 360, starting with our Pilates curl crunch. You'll take an inhale to prep. On your exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. Just to the point where your shoulder blades are just tapping the mat. And then lower down with control. 2 more times. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Gaze towards the middle of your thighs. Make sure you're holding yourself up with your abs and not with your arms. To test, let go of your head. Do you stay up? If not, we need to work that core a little more. Lower down with control. 1 more time. On your next exhale, curl up, bone by bone. Keep reaching that tailbone long. It's easy to squeeze the glutes and tuck the tail and lift it up off the mat, but we don't want to do that. Keep that reach, keep that neutral position. You'll really feel that front fire on. And then lower down. Quick rock of the head side to side. And a quick little lighting change. All right, staying down on the mat. Hands are still stacked one on top of the other. Now we're gonna add on. From here, just lower your legs to the right side of your mat. So you're in a little bit of a twisted position. Take an inhale here to prep. Exhale, you'll curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, straight up like you did before. Now we're firing on that waist, we're firing on that oblique. And then lower down with control. Take an inhale. Exhale, the head stays heavy in your hands. You crease at your breastbone to rise. And then lower down. One more time, curl up. And lower down. We take it to the other side. On your next exhale, you rise. Tips of the blades stay down. And lower. 2 more times, you rise on your exhale. Long back of the neck. And lower down. Last time here, curl up. And lower down. Bring your legs through center. Zip them together and lift them up to a tabletop position. Knees are over your hips. Hands are still stacked behind your head. Let's get the legs moving a little bit more. Head, neck, and shoulders will curl up as we have been working on. And then from here we go for our march. Lengthen the thigh bone, long heel taps the mat, and lift. Switch legs, lengthen the heel down, tap, and lift. Lengthen and lift. And lengthen and lift. So you're hinging from the hip, not from the knee. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Keep the elbows wide, just 2 more. Last time. Hug your knees into your chest, lower your head down, and rock your head side to side. All right, moving into the 100. Everyone's favorite. I don't know if that's true, but it's a classic Pilates exercise that we can't not do. It's like not having the Dark Magician in an episode or Blue Eyes in an episode. This is the Blue Eyes White Dragon of Pilates exercises. That's actually a great way to describe the 100. Let's do it then. So from here, hug your knees into your chest. You're going to curl your head, neck, and shoulders up without the assist of your hands. Tips of the blades down, crease at that breastbone, keep that tailbone long in opposition. Float the arms by your hips and legs either come to tabletop or to advance, they come to a high diagonal. Start to pump your arms up and down for inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Nice long vigorous pumps with the arms. This is going to get our heart rate up and ready to go for the rest of class. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, draw that waist down. Exhale, deepen it towards the mat. You have 3 more. And exhale. 2 more. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. Hug your knees into your chest. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Rock your head side to side. Put one hand on top of each knee and just circle your knees away from each other. Give yourself a little stir in the hip joint. Always feels good after the 100. And then reverse your circle. I mean, anything really feels good after the 100. It's the 100. All right, moving on to roll-ups. Lengthen your legs long on the mat. Try not to hit any of your puzzles or your items that are down on the floor, like me. Legs are reaching long. Zip them together. Always option to take a little bend to the knees if you're feeling a little tight in the legs. Arms are going to come up to the ceiling. Take an inhale to prep. Exhale, we come through our Pilates curl, roll all the way up to seated. At the top, lift up to dive forward. Drop the head, dive your waist back as you reach your fingertips forward. And then slowly take it back down bone by bone. Lower back, middle back, upper back, hit in that order. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up, nice and controlled. Waist dives down to the mat. You reach the legs long to help you up. Dive forward. Even here, don't let the abs go. There's still that reach back and up. Slowly take it back. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the ribs from the hips. Come all the way down. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up. Dive forward. We add on. From here, take it halfway back. We're not going all the way just yet. Flip your palms up to the ceiling, some yummy bicep curls. You bend at the elbows and straighten, and bend, and straighten for 3, 2, and 1. From here, roll all the way back down with control. Slow and steady makes you stronger. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll all the way up. Dive forward and we take it back halfway once more. My hair's really crazy today. Maybe that's kind of appropriate for today. Twist your body in this halfway position to the right. Flip your palms to the ceiling. We do bicep curls in our twist. And press for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We take it again to the other side. Twist and hold. Tap and tap for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself forward. Take it all the way back down to the mat. All right. Last time here, you're going to roll all the way up. Dive forward. And we finish with one more round of those straight on bicep curls. Flip the palms to the ceiling. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, lower all the way down. And bring your arms down to the mat. Rock your head side to side. Moving into our single leg circle variation today. Option to bring the hands behind the right thigh and extend and bend the leg. Or meet me down on the mat. Flex the right foot. And then as you lift, you point it up to the ceiling. And then flex, lower it down. Either bend and straighten or meet me here. Just finding some length and warming up that hamstring. This last time, bring the legs straight up to the ceiling. Lower your arms down to the mat if they were behind your leg. Find a little bit of external rotation with the leg so that the toes are about 1 o'clock on the clock. Taking the leg across the body to draw a circle. If you'd like, lift the hips so that you find a stack of the hips, one on top of the other. Then from here, the leg comes down, opens up, and comes back through center. Use your oblique, your right side body, to lift yourself up. Shoulders stay down. So you've got that twist position. Circle all the way back up. One more in this direction. Lift and lengthen through that toe. Circle around and lift up. Now we reverse. We take the leg out. Around, you lift the hip, lengthen, and bring it up. 2 more times. This is a little bit more of a classical way that Mr. Joseph Pilates used to do it. Most of the other, when you normally do this exercise, the hips are down. But since we have that waist focus, we're going to really think about using those obliques to help us move our limbs. From here, flex your right leg, lengthen it down to the mat, and we take it to the other side. Either hands behind the thigh, or meet me down on the mat. You point, lift the leg up, flex, lengthen it down. 3 more times. Think about that zip up of your core to draw the leg towards you. Last time, lift up and hold. We go across the body, keep the shoulders down. Reach the leg around and up. Inhale across, around and up. Draw a giant millennium ring. Get ready for the YuGiOh puns. And now we reverse. Make giant items. 2 more. Last time. Now reverse. If we already did this, we do extra credit. Last time. And then flex the foot, lengthen it long down to the mat, and reach your arms overhead. Take a long yawning stretch. All right. I hope it's cool where you are. In New York, it's been a hot one. All right. So as a special YuGiOh themed class, I had this idea to do a series of teasers, which is a Pilates exercise, based off of all of YuGi's friends. So we're going to start with Joey. I've got my flames on for my Brooklyn Rage. So we're going to start with Joey. And these are teaser crunches. So I'll give you these are spicy, just like Joey. So I will give you some options here with this position, but have a little fun with it. It's going to challenge balance, it's going to challenge coordination, and it's going to challenge our thoracic movement all at once. The magic of Pilates. All right, so from here, for our Joey teaser crunches, you're going to bring your legs either zipped together or slightly separate. Honestly, up to you. You get options today. You got a lot of options. You're going to bring your arms up to the ceiling. And we're going to start with the traditional roll-up. You're going to come through your Pilates curl. Maybe you need to adjust your feet to come all the way up. That was our dress rehearsal one. And then slowly take it down with control. Let's take that one more time. Curl up and come all the way up to tall. Find a little balance just behind your sits bones. So your sits bones are the bony landmarks in your booty. Find a little bit behind that. So you really have to draw that waist back to stay lifted. And then lower all the way back down. All right, it's time for our Joey crunches. We're going to curl all the way up to that seated position. Keep that lift. Dive the waist back through your spine. Lift your right leg up to tabletop and lower. If this is too much, bring your forearms down to the mat and lift and lower. Either way, you have a nice tall open chest. And that hinge is coming from the hip, not from the knee. 2 more. Last time. Slowly roll down with control. All right, from here, roll all the way up. We take it one step further, hands stacked behind the head. As you lift the right leg, you twist to the right. And lower twist. If this is too much, just keep doing more reps of that first variation with the forearms down. Try and keep the hips square and wring out the waist like a towel. 1 more here. Reach your arms long. Come all the way down with control. All right, grand finale. This is the final boss battle. Always options to take previous variations of what we just did. Find your edge and challenge yourself wherever you're at today. Roll yourself all the way up to that seated position. Your arms are going to reach long. From here, both legs are going to lift and lower. And lift and lower. Dive the waist back and open the chest. 1 more. Take it all the way down. Inhale. Grand finale. Exhale. Roll all the way up. Bring your hands behind your head. Now both legs lift as you twist and lower. Twist and lower. Twist and lower. You have 3. My Brooklyn Rage is building. Last time. Roll all the way down to the mat and hug your knees into your chest. Those are a doozy. So if you fell out of your position, no worries. When I was rehearsing and practicing that move for today, I fell out of it 1,000 times. So that's what working out and moving, that's the fun of it. We get to flop around on the floor and have a lot of fun. That's what I call working out time for me. It's flop around on the floor time. So don't take it too seriously. Let's have some fun. All right, our next step here. Oh, hello. Thank you for yes, they are very Guy Fieri, aren't they? I love these shorts. I have a lot of flame stuff. All right, so let's do our ab series. So we're down on the floor. We're going to start with our single leg stretch. We're going to add on some fun YuGiOh puns to this, but that's for a little later in our series. We're going to keep it classic for these first 2. So for single leg stretch, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the mat, just so that the shoulder blades tap the floor. Bring both hands to your right leg, extend your left leg long, and then we just switch our arms and switch our legs. And switch. and switch, and switch. Think of that zipping up of the waist to bring in the leg. So even if your hands weren't on your knees, could you get that leg really long? Get that bent leg really close to your shoulder. That pull in both directions. You have 2 more. Last one, lower down rest. That was single leg stretch. We move into double leg stretch. Head, neck, and shoulders curl up. Option here, the higher the legs are, the less strain potentially on your lower back. So if this is your first time or you're a couple of classes in, take the legs at a higher angle. If you really want to challenge your core, they go lower. Maybe to the point where they're floating off just an inch off of the mat. Find your angle today that works for you. I know for me it changes all the time. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Arms and legs extend away from each other. And then bring everything back in. Inhale, curl your arms through like a picture frame. Exhale, come through. 2 more times. Hold the shape for a moment and then bring it in. That's where the work is. Last time. And bring it in. Lower on down. Rock your head side to side. We move into scissors. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Legs come up to the ceiling. Hands are going to grab behind your thigh, calf, or ankle, depending on how flexible you are. And what I don't want you to do is just hang on to your leg. Let go of your leg for a second. Are you still in your curl? Great. Use your abs to keep yourself up, not your arms. Pulse that leg towards you, and scissor switch. Pulse, and switch. Pulse, and pulse. Feel a lot of length. Feel like YuGiOh when he's transforming into Yami and he gets like 6 feet taller. Feel length out of your legs, like they're infinitely growing longer to the ceiling. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hug your knees in and lower down. Rock your head side to side. All right, from here, this is where we get our fun YuGiOh puns. So, we're going to do a fan kick version of lower lift. And this kind of reminds me of when you fan out cards when you're holding them when you're playing card games. So that's why we're doing this variation. Maybe you feel the same way, maybe you don't. I hope you have fun with it nonetheless. Option here, if you're feeling a little tension in the lower back, you can make a triangle with your hands. Bring it underneath your tailbone. You know you're in the right spot if you have 8 fingers poking out from underneath your booty. To advance this, your hands stack one on top of the other behind the nape of your neck. You curl your head, neck, and shoulders up on your next exhale, and that's where we meet. Legs come up to the ceiling. Now here we go. Left leg is going to scissor down. From here, the legs open away from each other, circle around, and then meet at the top. Now the opposite leg lowers, right leg lowers. The legs open away from each other, circle around, and lift up. 1 more on each side. Lower the left leg. Are you still just as high in your curl? And up. Last time. Open around. Lift up. And rest. That felt pretty fabulous. Let's move on to crisscross. Working more of those obliques. So option here, legs can be bent. Or for a challenge, they straighten to the ceiling. I'll demo both. We'll meet with the hands behind the head. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and now twist your right armpit towards your left knee and extend the opposite leg long, either bent or both straight. Then from here, we come through center, twist and reach up to that leg, and come through center, twist and reach, and twist and reach. Maybe we're scissoring, twist and reach, twist and reach. You have 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. You're done. Hug it in, rock yourself side to side. Get a sip of water. And then from here, recenter yourself on your mat. Separate your feet so that they're a little wider than mat width distance. Bring your arms up to the ceiling and slowly roll all the way up to seated. We move into our spine stretch forward. So this is really going to work the strength of our middle back. It's also going to help us with some shoulder mobility because I've added on a little bit to this because Yami's got some mad strong shoulders. So from here, you're going to bring your arms long in front of you and find a long, tall spine. If this is hard to hold, if you're feeling like your lower back is rounding or your hamstrings are tight or you're clenching in the hips, take a bend to the knees. I'd rather you have your knees bent and you can find a long, tall spine like so, then your legs are straight and we're slouching. Defeats the purpose of the exercise. Defeats the purpose of us trying to strengthen our posture. So it's all right if you need to take a little bend to the knees, or if you have a book or a yoga block or a cushion, you can also put that under your hips just to give some elevation, to give you some space there. Entirely up to you. So from here, arms are going to come long in front of us. I want you to imagine the ring of your hips, the ring of your ribs, and the ring of the crown of your head lining up as concentric circles. You'll take an inhale here, grow nice and tall. On your exhale, abs drive back, think roll up from before. Head heavies in between the knees, and you dive forward, keeping the arms where they are. From here, stack all the way up to tall, bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. And once the head's up, lift the arms up and around to tap the mat behind you. Trying not to sink towards the floor as the arms circle. Bring them all the way back to your start position. We take it again. Draw the head forward. Slide and dive. Keep the collarbones wide. Zip up through the waist to stack the spine all the way up to tall. Lift the ribs from the hips as the arms circle around and tap. And come back to front. Here we go, one more time. Imagine you're stacking each vertebra one on top of the other. Nice lift, thinking of moving those arms from the back like we were during warm-up. And then lower down, shake it out. From here, zip your legs together. If you'd like a challenge, or you can keep them open. We move into a little spine twist. From here, arms can come out to a T, or you can bring your fingertips to your shoulders if you're short on space. From here, keeping the hips square to the front of the mat, you twist your ribs to the right. So my hips don't move. And come back through center. Now to the left. And center. Think of your rib cage like an owl's head. It's in isolation. And center. And twist. And center. One more time each side. Grow taller. Keep lifting the ribs from the hips. Last time. And center. From here, reach your arms long in front of you and roll all the way down to the mat. Recenter yourself and hug your knees into your chest. Let's all meet with the hands in that triangle position underneath our sacrum for a little tick-tock. So we kind of played with this a little bit in our single leg circle variation. And we basically did what we're going to do now with our legs, what we just did sitting. So for our tick-tock, legs are going to come up to the ceiling. Totally valid to take a bend to the knees if they don't go straight. From here, shoulders stay down. That left hip will lift as you bring the legs over to the right and then back through center. Lift the right leg to bring the legs over to the left side and then use that oblique to bring the body back to center. If you'd like, arms can come long by your sides for more of a challenge. Tick-tock the legs to the right. Keep reaching the toes long and come back through center. It's easy for one leg to lengthen past the other one. Try to keep the toes at the same level. Let's do one more on each side. Reach long and then draw that waist back. Use that oblique to bring yourself back. Last time, keep the collarbones wide. Take the tension out of the front of the throat. I know, easier said than done. And then from here, lower one leg down to the mat. Lower the other one. Roll all the way back up. to seated. We take a couple more twisting variations. So separating the legs to that mat width distance apart. This time your arms will come out to a T. If you don't have enough room, hands will come to the shoulders and you'll still be able to do the exercise. We move into our saw. So from here, we're going to add on to that twist that we did before. We twist to the right. Arms will extend. You'll saw off your pinky toe with your pinky finger, reaching long in your twist. Then from here, come up nice and tall, bone by bone, and back through center. So twist, dive forward, deepen your twist to rise, and center. Twist, dive forward, come up, and center, twist. Feel that reach, really lift the ribs from the hips to deepen the twist, and center. This time we're going to twist and hold. Either arms out to a T or arms at the shoulders. More bicep curls. Out and tap for 3, 2, and 1. Twist to the other side. We take our final round of bicep curls. Out and tap for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Reach your arms long in front of you. Zip your legs together and slowly roll all the way down to the mat. From here, we're going to transition to a prone position, so lying down on your abdominals. It's time for extension. So we did a lot of spinal flexion, which is that rounding of the spine and our roll up and a little in our spine stretch forward. Now we're going to do the opposite. Extension is heart opening. It's upper back, posterior chain. And we know from looking at how regal Yami is, he's got really great posture and he's got really strong upper back. So this is inspired by him. So from here, starting with our swan, you'll bring your hands to stack one on top of the other. Your forehead will come to your hands. And then you have two options for your feet here. Legs can start wide. That's going to give you a little more range of motion and a little more openness in the lower back. The more narrow the legs are, the more challenging this becomes. So I always recommend start wide and then feel it out because we're going to do more than one rep. Maybe you can go a little narrower. You can find your edge today. So starting with the legs wide or wherever you'd like them to, forehead comes to the mat. From here, I want you to lift your abs up off the mat as if you have a tack underneath your navel and you're trying to lift it away. As you do that, I want you to feel the triangle of your pelvis heavy towards the mat. So your two bony hip points and your pubic bone heavy towards the mat evenly. So there's that lift of the abdominals and that drawing down of the pelvis in opposition. You should start to feel your core fire on, like you're drawing your abs up to bring your pelvis forward into a bit of a tilt. As you find that, begin to lift with the upper back to float your head and heart and hands up into a hover. So that's what initiates the lift. From here, reach long to lower down. Same thing, abs lift, pelvis heavies. Your upper body lifts. And lower down. Let's go 2 more times. Lift. And lower. Last time. And lower. From here, you're going to lift up and hold. Bring your forearms down to the mat and press up into your Sphinx position. We love to see some puns here. So you're going to come to your Sphinx position. Forearms are down on the mat. Let's splay all of our fingers down on the mat and zip our legs together for single leg kicks. So in your Sphinx position, I want you to press evenly into your forearms. What I don't want you to do is sink to the mat. We're not hanging around watching YuGiOh. We're pretending to be YuGiOh. So I want you to press the mat away. Lift your abs off of the floor, but keep your hips down. So we have a long diagonal spine here. We don't want to dump in the lower back. So lift the abs, keep the hips down. Reach your sternum long through your shoulders. From here, we add a little hamstring curl. Flex your right leg, kick it towards you twice, and lower, switch left. Kick, kick, and lower. As you're moving, stay lifted. Nice wide collarbones. Lifted core. Long diagonal spine. For 4. And 3. 2. Last one. From here, lower down. You're going to bring your right face cheek to the mat. Stack your hands one on top of the other. We go for a little double leg kick, YTW combination. That's the word I'm looking for. So from here, similar to our single leg kicks, your legs are zipped together. You're going to kick your heels towards your booty 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Press the feet down. Lift the arms, lift the chest, find a swan here. Now hold. Release your hands, swing your arms forward, and we're just going to lift the arms up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms back around. Lower your left face cheek to the mat. And we take that again. We kick, kick. 3, 2, 1. Press down, lift up. This time, arms come out to a T. Same thing. We pulse up, up for 2 and 1. Hands come back behind. Lower down. Last time, we press for 3, 2, 1. Legs lower. We lift the upper body up. Release the arms, palms to the ceiling. Little pulses up, up for 2 and 1. Lower down. Press yourself back, hips to heels. Find a child's pose. So big toes together. You can separate the knees for more of a stretch in the inner thighs, or you can zip the legs together for more of a release in the lower back. I find it depends on the day. But take whatever feels good in this moment. And then from here, lie down onto your right side waist, so your left leg will be on top for our leg series. Side kick series with the YuGiOh twist. So lying down on your mat, I want you to be in a perfect straight line at the back edge of the mat. This top arm will come in front of your chest. You can either lie on your bicep like a pillow, or you can bend at the elbow and support your head, like so. Hips are stacked one on top of the other. Knees are stacked one on top of the other. And ankles are stacked one on top of the other. This should be hard to hold as is. I want you to feel really light on the mat. It's easy to kind of want to sink into the mat to feel more grounded into it. The more lift you have away, the more stable you're going to be, because you're using your muscles, you're using your core to find stability. The more lifted you feel, the longer you feel. Imagine you're a rope. Someone's playing tug of war on you. Someone's pulling your elbow. Someone's pulling your feet. Feel a lift of your waist. Feel really engaged here and dynamic, not like we're relaxing. From here, we're going to work that waist. Both legs are going to lift up and then lower down. Lift up in one piece and lower down. 2 more. Last time. Now from here, lift up and hold. We're going to go for Newton's cradle. You'll lower that bottom leg to the mat and then bring it back up to meet the top leg. Then the top leg lifts and lowers. And we keep moving. Bottom leg lowers, top leg lifts. 1 more. From here, beat the inner thighs together. Beat, 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 beat for 4. 3, 2, hold 1. From here, draw the legs to the frontmost corner of your mat and lower them down. So you look like a little check mark. Check. Let's move on. Big dramatic leg here. Feeling very kaiba when I do big legs. So have that energy. Have the energy of Kaiba's jacket from Battle City. That's what I'm looking for here. You're going to lift that leg up to hip height. Without shifting your hips, you're going to draw the leg forward, kick, kick it twice. Point, reach it back behind you. Flex, kick, kick. Point, reach it back behind you. One more time. Point, reach it back. Bring the leg to hover, flex the foot, lift it up, and lower it down. 2 more times, lift. Keep feeling light on that mat. Last time. This time, lift the leg up to a hover. We're going to draw rectangles like we're drawing YuGiOh cards. You're going to come forward, lower, back, and up. Forward, lower, back, and up. Building our deck of cards. I told you to get ready for the bad puns. If there's a theme, though, we're doing the theme. Now reverse. I brought out all of my Millennium items for this. I'm just talking to distract you from the burn in your hip. Last time. From here, lower the legs down and bend the knees in. Transition back to your back. So we can't not do an exercise called Magician in a YuGiOh themed Pilates class. The problem with the Magician exercise is that it's meant for the Cadillac or the Tower, which are 2 Pilates apparatus that are not the mat. And it means that we would need to have leg springs on, and we would do some sort of crazy levitating exercise. Hence why it's called Magician. I designed something that's the closest thing I could get to Magician on the mat, so that we can stay on theme for today. So it's a shoulder bridge variation. It's going to be a lot of hamstring, and it's going to be a lot of bilateral work. So get excited. Here's our magician variation. So feet are going to be separated, inner hip width distance apart, so finding the bony landmarks of your hips and following them down. That's where I want your feet to be. Arms are long by your side. We're just going to do a dress rehearsal shoulder bridge. On your next exhale, lift up, peel yourself off of the mat like a sticker, bone by bone. So lower back, middle back, upper back. And I want you to find a long diagonal spine here, like we did in single leg kicks. So the thought is gymnastics U shape. But what I want you to find is a long diagonal spine. Line up your pubic bone to the bottom of your breastbone. It's going to really fire on the glutes, and it's going to fire on that waist. It's easy to kind of dump in the waist here. Just hold here for a moment, maybe play around, find your position, press into your arms, use your shoulders to help you lift. They don't call it shoulder bridge for nothing. And then take it down bone by bone. Upper back, middle back, lower back, tail. Just like our roll-up. You could think of this like a roll-up in reverse. We're going to add on. From here, we slowly take ourselves up into our shoulder bridge, finding that long diagonal spine. Now from here, we try to maintain that. Hips don't lower or lift as we slide the leg out and bring it back in. To challenge, the leg is going to come out and in levitating. Level 1, just slide it down on the mat. 2 more times here. Last time. From here, lower the leg down. Make sure your hips are even. Lower your hips down. All right, let's take that again. One more side. Lift up. Either slide that left leg long and bring it in, or bring it to table, float it out and in. Try not to move the hips. You have 3 more. 2 more. Last time. Lower the leg. Make sure those hips are even. Lower with control out of your bridge. I said that was the last one. I lied to you. I'm sorry. We have 1 more. We do both sides. Back and forth. Lift up. Final round of magician. From here, right leg comes out and bends in. And left, kind of like our march, our marching magician. You have 2, just 1 more, I promise. and slowly lower down. Whew, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Enjoyed. Swing yourself around to the other side. There's a difference between what instructors find fun and what students find fun. I completely understand. Because I love doing hard and wacky things. And I understand why people don't like them, because they're hard and wacky. I totally get it. All right, starting as a perfect straight line at the back edge of your mat, finding that lightness on the floor, lifting, stacking of the limbs. We lift both legs up in one piece and lower it down. Just lather, rinse, repeat your YuGiOh hair like we did on the other side. 2 more times. Last time. This time lift up and hold. Go for our Newton's cradle, lower and lift. You think Kaiba has one of these on his desk at Kaiba Corp? I could see him like having one of these and then just getting so mad at it, like it annoys him, and he just like grabs it and throws it across the room or out the window. It seems very him. One more here. Keep the legs lifted. Beat the inner thighs together. Beat, beat, beat. For 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Bring the legs forward. Lower them down. Into our check mark position, we go for our Kaiba coat kicks. We love alliteration. Kick, kick to the front. Point brush it back behind you. You gotta feel the fantasy with this stuff. Gotta keep it fun. Last time. Float the leg to hip height. We reach to lift up and reach to lower. Keep feeling that infinite length out of the leg. Last time here. And now we build our deck. Forward, up, back, down, forward, up. Try not to do the mambo with the hips. They stay stacked. What's in your deck? Reverse. What's in your wallet? My YuGiOh cards. 2 more. Thank you for putting up with me. Last one. You are done. Lower the leg down, bend the knees in, and come to sit. You gotta stretch. So figure 4. I'm gonna take a seated figure 4. Right leg, you're bringing your ankle to your thigh, and then just walk yourself into as tight of a shape as you'd like. Enough so that you feel a stretch in your glute and into your piriformis. You can free up a hand and press the knee away from you to help deepen the stretch. You are also welcome to take this supine down on your back. This is the more familiar version of this exercise, but I like to mix it up from time to time. It's good to throw your body something different. Unravel your figure 4 and take it to the other side. Same thing, take whatever variation works for you. You don't have to be in a super tight shape. It's more about where you feel the stretch. And you don't want to find your tightest shape immediately when you stretch, because the longer you hold it, the deeper you're going to fall into it. So find your edge, and then slowly you will deepen the stretch. All right, unravel your legs, shake it out. We're almost to the home stretch. We still have some friend teasers to do. We did Joey. We still have to do Taya, Tristan, and Bakura. And we're going to do them now. So, we're going to start our teasers from our seated position. You can always keep your hands behind your thighs and just hold the teaser. That's baseline. All the other stuff we're going to add on, if this is enough of a challenge for you, stay there, work on that. Advancing comes with practicing. So we're going to start with the hands behind our legs. You're going to find an open proud chest at the top and find that waist drawing back and that balance just behind the sits bones. So not up on the bony landmarks of the booty, just a little bit back. From here, you'll float that right leg up to a balance and bring that left leg up. Option to hold this or zip the legs together and reach for your toes. There's your teaser. So from here, we have our Taya variation. Lift your arms up to the ceiling and lower down. Why is this the Taya variation? Because we're going yay for the power of friendship. 2 more. Last time. Hold here. From here, legs stay where they are. You roll all the way down to the mat. Holy moly, hug your knees into your chest. Yay for teasers, yay for the power of friendship. Now we're down on the mat. We got to come up into our teaser. Legs come to tabletop. Option 1, hands come behind the thighs to help you up. Option 2, legs stay in table. Option 3, the legs extend long to a high diagonal. We have our Tristan variation. From here, arms come up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up to your teaser. Hold. We're going to do a little boxing. One arm comes back and switch, and switch, and switch. Because Tristan thinks he's super cool. Fighting everyone for his sister and for Joey. 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms long. Come all the way down to the mat. Do you love my ridiculous teasers? This is what happens when I'm having way too much fun. We gotta stick to the theme, everyone. Final one. We have Bakura. Hopefully you find this funny. Take an option. Whatever option works for you. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll all the way up. Find your teaser. This time we twist to the right and twist to the left. We're looking for Bakura. Because where is he? He's always missing. Or he's someone else. Where is that guy? Twist for 2 and 1. Reach your arms long and roll all the way down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Thank you for humoring me. Rock yourself up to seated. And we have some push-ups. Because everyone is ripped in YuGiOh for whatever reason. Card games make you strong. We're going to do a couple of variations of push-ups. First one's going to be a wide elbow push-up. So just a little test on your knees. You're going to bend at the elbows. They're going to open slightly out to the sides. And you're going to press up. So thinking of this less as a T and more of an arrow. So the elbows will go out, but they're not going to be directly out to the sides. So that's our first variation on push-up. Second is tricep. The elbows stay close to the hips. They graze the rib cage. So that's our tricep push-up. So we have our wider elbow, our tricep, and now we have our serratus push-up. This is specific for a lot of Pilates practices. We do a lot of serratus push-ups. A little bit of a different variation. You come to your forearms into what looks like a forearm plank. And then instead of bending at your arms, because you're in a forearm plank, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and lower your chest towards the floor. And then separate your shoulder blades to lift up. So as if you're squeezing a pencil in between your scapula. And then press up. Nothing moves, just the chest. So it's really activating the back. That's your serratus push-up. We're going to do our front support. When we get into our plank, we're going to move through each version of those push-ups. And then you get a stretch. And then we're done. So finding whatever you've deemed the back edge of your mat. Bring your heels together, toes apart, in your Pilates stance at about 11 and 1 on the clock. From here, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Take a little stretch. From here, walk out into your plank, either on your knees or floating. And we move into our first round of push-ups. 4 wide elbow push-ups. You have 4, 3, 2, last one. Pike your hips up to the ceiling, down dog. Or should I say millennium puzzle, because that's what we look like. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. From here, slowly roll all the way up to tall, bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. Round 2. Inhale, arms come up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Boop. Walk your hands out. Boop. Walk your hands out, and we take our tricep push-ups. Elbows are close to the ribs. You have 4, 3, 2, last one. Pike your hips up into your puzzle and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Slowly roll up to tall, bone by bone. Relish in that articulation because we have one more round. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands out. And we're all going to meet in that forearm plank. Make a fist with one hand, cup it with the other for our serratus push-ups. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift up. 3 more. Keep the hips where they are. 2 more. Last time. From here, press up into your plank. Pike your hips up to the ceiling and hold. We're going to take a little stretch here. Reach your right leg up to the ceiling. And then exhale, bend your knee into your chest. Take it through into a lunge. We're going to do a pyramid stretch because it's YuGiOh, right? Here we go. In our lunge, keeping the chest close to the thigh, straighten both legs into your pyramid stretch. And then bend back into your lunge. Lift the hips. And bend. This last time we lift up and hold. Think of reaching your breastbone long towards your toes. And just breathe here. If you have a bend in the knees, that's totally fine. Flexibility comes with time, and it's very finicky even when you do it all the time. So don't be hard on yourself. From here, bend your knee back into your lunge. Foot comes back into your front support. Your hips pike back up. We take the left side. Left leg comes up. Bend the knee into your chest. Bring it through into your lunge. We lather, rinse, repeat. Lift the hips. Find your pyramid. And then bend it back in. Straighten, lift the hips. Try to keep the bony hip points square to the front of your mat. And bring it in. Last time, lift up and hold. Breathing easy, finding a long spine here. Lift the hips high, reach the chest long. And then bend your knee. Take the foot back, front support. Back up into your pyramid, your other pyramid. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. Hang out in your forward fold. Nod your head yes, shake it no. Get a little gooey here, whatever feels good. And then return to stillness. Slowly roll up to tall, bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. When you reach the top, draw your shoulders back. And you're ready to go. Good job.